butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you are not yet a beautiful butterfly, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on, and do not miss an upload every time you get upload. It's gonna be a brief story time. It's one that I didn't feel like I seen myself doing, but I'm doing it. It's my life, my journey, and I'm not name dropping anyone. I'm just going off of, again, my journey and things I've came across and experienced. I don't know if the person still watches my social media. I don't want anyone in my business. Whoever is out there, whether you are young, older, and you are thinking now you possibly are the only person who went through something like this, no, you are not. I have a crazy roller coaster life. If you would like to hear the rest of my story, then please keep on watching. I dated this guy. We dated about a month. I was blindsided. I feel like I was manipulated in a way. I was just kind of naive because at the time me and my old ex was not seeing eye to eye, giving me the bare minimum treatment, and dealing with each other on and off for about 3 years. You get the gist of that. Things I felt like was not changing. I feel like he was just giving me narcissist type of behavior. I was over it. Like, you know, when you have one foot in the door, one foot out the door. It was that type of situation. I am no angel, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be a perfect person in any way, shape, or form. When I'm doing right and I'm trying and trying and trying, and you're doing the opposite and you're doing what you want to do and you stepped out on me previous times or just had eyes for another person, you start to not trust that person, especially because of the same type of old patterns that they continuously just show you they're the same person. They mask that they changed, but they really didn't change. It was that type of situation. He was telling me, oh, he wants to be with me, he wants to make things work. I let him know that I was talking to other people. I had my options open because things wasn't changing. Like, he just stayed giving me the same version of him that I was just so used to and fed up with that I just was like, okay, I'm not going to put all my eggs in just your basket like you want me to. I did that before I got hurt previous times. I was over it. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm going to show you that I've changed. I had a gut feeling that he wasn't ready. Besides the relationship, we always had a friendship, so I feel like that's really important to have with someone. So it was really special. It's the type of person that you would have around in your life. I love them from a distance, and you don't have to be with them, but they're always going to have a part in your life that's special. Keeping my options open, and that's when I met this person. So I'll name this person Black. I ended up talking to Black, and it happened really quickly. This happened at a very vulnerable time in my life where I was just fed up, not being appreciated, and someone who I've known for so long not seeing my worth over and over again. I stuck beside him over and over again, and he just, I don't know if it's a part of him trying to grow as a guy, childish behaviors. Besides that, he was a good person. He wasn't like a horrible person, because if I needed him, he would be there, partially when I did. I didn't know that Black was around kind of watching me before, because again, I have a lot of people on my social media, and I know this kind of sounds bad and I probably should fix it a little bit, but I have a lot of people on my social media where I pay attention to, but then again I don't, because I have so much people on my social media that watch my stories and everything. I'm more aware than I was before, but this person has been watching me for some time. They said that we even went to the same school together. I had no knowledge until they told me after we kind of started being serious with each other. They told me that they always see me in school and I always looked mean, and that's why they never approached me. They didn't look how they looked before, you know, small talk and all that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we went to the same school. That's crazy. They were showing me all the right signs. I didn't see the red flags until after I got in the relationship with the guy, Black. This isn't gonna be bashing him at all. I'm not saying anything negative towards them. I'm just saying what happened. Besides the bad, me and Black had good times together. Our short amount of time we did spend together, laughed together, kicked it with each other. Now, I didn't see it at first being manipulated. My reasons of why I do believe that it was manipulation: video footage, I have screenshots. If the shoe fits, then I guess you're gonna have to wear it, because I didn't mention you. I didn't mention anything about the person's identity. After we got in a relationship, he mentioned to me that he has some loose screws. Not literally saying that, but like in a way of saying, like, he called himself crazy. He called himself crazy, okay? And I would laugh at it, you know. I didn't see it as like a red flag. And I know you guys are gonna be like, how didn't you see it as a red flag? At the time I didn't, because you know a lot of people play around with stuff like that, and I still don't know how true the story is. But he told me after we are in a relationship, and look at it from my point of view, okay? He's in my presence, he's in my room, the door is locked, he's my boyfriend at the time, and he's telling me this, and he's sitting down looking at me, but we're laughing. But I'm like, okay, I kept it in mind, but I didn't know, like, I don't know. So he says to me there was an incident, like he never put his hands on like a female, stuff like that. Like, that's not how he is. He's telling me this, but he said he did one time and he never did it again. He mentioned how he put his hands on his ex before, and he tried to push her out of a moving vehicle. Again, I don't know how their relationship was. I don't know what she did to him, but he's telling me that. And he mentions to me this is his last time trying with a female, and that's it. Like, after me, he's done. And you know, I'm thinking like, okay, it's love and stuff like that, but at the time I'm not really realizing the things that he's saying to me. I'm just taking it as like, oh, okay, he really cares. So he's mentioning to me how if we like not working out, he said that he would I'm not laughing out of like, oh, it's funny. I'm laughing out of like, this is like kind of crazy. I'm like, well, what would you do? And he said to me that he would probably run me over with a car. Now, I know, okay. And I'm like, cause I'm like, what would be the first thing you would do that would come to mind? And I know it's crazy for me to say something like that, but it was that type of conversation we was randomly having after he told me that. Like, well, I would probably hit you with a car, or I'll probably try to like, he said other things I don't like, another thing I don't want to mention, but I'm laughing it off, and I'm like, okay. My camera is on 16%. I should have charged it before, but I didn't think I was going to do this story time, so let me just try to speed this up. So he did mention to me that, so this is where everything kind of happened, because we was in our honeymoon phase, I guess that's what you can call it. We would have like little arguments here and there, like very petty. It would be type of like jealousy, I guess you can say. He asked me one time like, what would I plan on wearing for the summer? And I'm like, clothes? Wait, what do you mean? It was this incident that happened where I post TikToks. I don't, certain outfits I do wear is like a lot sometimes, but not really. But even if it is a lot, I won't wear it outside. Depending on how explicit my outfit is, I won't like go outside and walk in a thong or something like that. It was a certain outfit, and I'm like, it was a video I had on TikTok where I posted it. I'm like, yeah, I would wear this outside. And he looked at me like, you're not wearing that. I'm like, why not? I'm laughing, and he's just looking at me serious like, you're crazy if you think you're gonna walk out like that. And you know the styles of how Addie from Euphoria, I don't know if she ever wore an outfit like this where like the thong, like she had a thong on, but it kind of cut up a little where you can see just the lace of the thong. And people do it all the time, like it's a style. The string of the thong sitting on like your stomach area. And I don't know, because people think like it's a thong, oh, it's wrong and stuff, but it's like you're not showing no cheeks, you're not showing anything, it's just a style. And I had that on and he kind of got upset. I had no crack out, I had shorts on, and the thong string was just pulled up on my stomach. Again, at the time, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Certain things I would wear, I feel like he wouldn't like it. He would try to be controlling in that way if that did happen, where it's summertime and it's hot outside and he'll be like, oh, you're not wearing that, Those situations here where if I'm laying down and I'm turned over a certain way because I'm sleeping, while I'm sleeping, he would ask, I don't know, like he would ask me if I can, like, if he can cuddle with me. And I'm in and out of sleep, so me being asleep and I'm like, if I turn over or something and I'm sleeping, I'm not going to, like, that's not me pulling away from you or wanting to sleep away from you. That's just me sleeping. When you're asleep, half the time, like, you move in different positions, and sometimes he will get mad because I would do that, but it's like, dude, I'm sleeping. And then you're asking me while I'm sleeping, can I move closer to you? And half the time I don't hear you because I'm sleeping. Then the next morning he would, like, in a way catch an attitude, but it's like little stuff like that. And I'm like, I was sleeping, I didn't hear you. If I roll over a certain way in my sleep, it don't mean that I don't want to be next to you. I'm just asleep. Just if I forget to say, like, oh, see ya to him, he'll be upset. My family kind of started to notice that me and Black have been spending a lot of time with each other, and nothing was wrong with space at all. Like, again, me and him, even though we did have like the little arguments and stuff, we was in a good space. Like, you know, we still respected each other. What we went through didn't come between us and affect us. An argument like that, if we had it too many times consistently, in my head I would be thinking like, okay, maybe we need space because we're arguing over petty things. Telling him, because he would always come here and nothing was wrong with him coming here, but we're gonna argue and be up under each other. We probably need space away from each other. So I mentioned to him, like, okay, what do you think about, like, you know, having space? Because right after we argued, after we made up, he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna come over. And in my head I'm like, we just argued, we was just up under each other not too long ago. I feel like we need space, and space helps the relationship in a way build and be stronger. Doesn't mean that I don't want to be around you. It's just, if we are going to be up under each other 24/7, we need at least a day space. And if I would bring up having a day space, he'll be like, oh, you don't want to be around me, we're supposed to be in this 100%. Oh, like, you must not love me if you don't want to be up under me. And just because we got in a little argument, now you want to start acting funny if I mention having a day of space. And me feeling bad, I'll be like, okay, well, never mind, you can still come over. And then he'll come over, and then it'll kind of be, we'll have a good day, and then the next day it'll be the same thing. So I'm like, all right, dude, like, if this is gonna keep happening, if you're gonna wake up with attitudes because I'm moving in my sleep, like petty stuff, then you need to go home. I told him, like, don't even come over. And he got mad. And then, you know, I would be up under him in the room. I really wouldn't be spending time much with my family. So I'm someone who kind of don't know how to say no, and I felt like we need a space, but to not make him like upset or mad or feel like I don't really love him, I'm like, well, it's okay, I don't feel like we need space. I gave him something of mine, and I told him, I don't know, things like that is just meaningful to me, even though it can always be replaced, materialistic stuff. So I gave it to him because he asked me for it. You not do anything to this specific item that I gave him. He's like, okay, I won't. Long story short, because I'm not trying to babble and like say too much on it, he got mad at me because a situation happened where, before I explained the situation, I felt like what I was trying to do. So I was supposed to be in Maryland's video shoot. She didn't drop a location yet, and I was waiting for it. So I let him know. It was late at night, it was like 11 something. It was last minute, but I was ready to go. And I let him know, and he was like, oh, how are you gonna go somewhere where you don't even know where the location is and who's gonna be there? And I'm like, I don't know who's gonna be there, but it's like an opportunity, and I was gonna jump on the boat and take it. And he told my mom and stuff and family like, oh, he would be supportive of me because he knew what I was trying to do. But when it came down to it like this, you didn't want me to do something like that, and it was a big opportunity. He wasn't being supportive, so then we got into a little argument. He's like, all right, whatever. And I'm like, all right, I'm still gonna go. The next morning I didn't reply back to him because I wasn't on my phone, and it was the day where I had a birthday dinner and was gonna be out with family, so I wasn't on my phone. I was like getting ready and all of that, and he was like, oh, you don't know how to reply back, now you're being funny. Again, little art, like it was really petty. When I hear you say I'm good on you, when you say you're good on a person, that means I'm all set, and that means that, oh, we're no longer in a relationship. So he's like, I'm good on you, and he was like, oh, the item that you gave me, I'm gonna burn it, move how you're moving. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, can I have the item back? I'll go get it from you. And he was like, oh, I'm not bringing it to you, you come get it. So we got off the phone, and that's when he was like, oh, matter of fact, you're not getting anything, I'm gonna burn it, etc. F out of here. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, keep it. Like, you know, it's a materialistic item, so keep it. You're crazy. So he called me, did not pick up, trying not to stress, going out with my family, having a good time. I got back home, and then that's when he was blowing up my phone, telling me he's gonna catch me when he see me, he's really gonna hurt me, he's gonna do something to me when I'm on my way to work. Not disrespectful to him, not one time at all. Like, and I'm not someone who's going to be disrespectful. Like, I'm not a disrespectful type of female at all. I'm not. Any of my exes can tell you I don't be disrespectful. I don't. So the fact that he blew up out of proportion and told me he's gonna do this and he's gonna, now you're making threats towards me. And things go on with females where their boyfriends kill them and all that. So I'm like, oh no. I was like, I ended it. I'm done. Especially making threats, and you know what time I go to work and you're gonna catch me when I go to work. It was at a point where it's like I had to have people around me because he's been threatening me. Hello? It's not to the point where you are physically going to say you're going to do something harmful to me and making threats towards me and all that. Even if he was playing with me in that type of way, that's something that I do not joke about, take lightly. Now he's gonna put his hands on me, gonna pull up to my house, he's gonna send people to my house. Mind y'all, I did not say anything. And the whole thing about it, which is kind of mind-boggling to me, and this whole time of trying to reason with him and trying to have a conversation with him, I was so calm. I didn't say anything bad towards him, none of that. Like, during that I was being so respectful, so on and so forth. It was just crazy. And he was like, oh, you really didn't love me, you kids don't know nothing about love, just throw away what we was building because I said that I would do this to your item. And it was way bigger than that, but it was the fact that he said he would physically harm me. I'm just saying all this to say, younger audience of younger women, people who are currently in relationships that's going through things like that, that is not love. If it gets scary, run. If they said they will physically do something bad to you because they love you that much, he said that he would physically harm me because he loves me that much. Because I told him we could be friends, but he's like, oh, after friendship you really never even loved me. I'm like, okay, if you don't want a friendship, we could just part ways. Especially after everything you told me, you're gonna send people to my house, come to my house and kick the door down. I'm not even gonna say more. Like, I'm the type of person where even if we do leave off on bad terms, I'm not someone who wishes you negative. Like, I'm just letting go and letting God. Everything, my problems and everything, I'm leaving it in God's hands because he is the higher power. I'm telling you guys, like, he's a higher power. Whatever is meant for you is going to be meant for you. It's not going to be taken away from you. It was just a big sign where he literally smacked it on my face like a sticker and was like, boom, like, look, I'm showing you, like, get out of it, like, you know. And a lot of people wait until it's too late. Pay attention to the signs. And this video again was not to bash anyone at all. It was just to simply because I have a platform and I have an audience, to share my experience and just to try to relate to people who go through things like that. I had the strength to let it go, to not be sucked up into it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with more videos, and until next time.